How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here with another video. So, of course, it's time to do another Detroit Lions NFL draft preview. So, in the last draft preview, we wrapped up the day 2 portion of the draft previews by taking a look at the top defensive back and safety prospects in day 2 of the draft in a very loaded secondary class. And in this part, we're going to begin the day 3 portion of the draft by taking a look at the best QB prospects for rounds 4 through 7 of the NFL draft. So, day 3. So yeah, of course, for the day 3 previews, it's going to be every single position this round, so everybody's going to be getting looked over. But yeah, anyway, with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. Let's go. So the first QB we're going to go over, we have hailing out of Iowa State, standing 6'1", weighing 220 pounds. We got Brock Purdy. So for Brock's strengths, his release is snappy. He's efficient regardless of his throw-in platform. He's big enough to run without getting beat up. Accuracy is reliable in the short and intermediate areas of the field. He trusts his receivers, will give them shots in contested situations. He keeps his eyes downfield until the clock strikes midnight. He's able to adjust his arm slot to get around pass rushers. He's a tough player, won't back down when he gets beat up. His arm talent is adequate enough to attack every level of the field. In terms of his weaknesses, though, his lapses in anticipation can lead to passes arriving too late. His internal clock isn't broken, but it does need some tinkering. Hey, always room for improvement. He's late to recognize and adapt to pressure. He's not a natural play extender. He will struggle in a hectic pocket. His scrambling isn't quick enough to get away from defensive ends, though. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Brandon Allen of the Cincinnati Bengals, so, has a lot of upside for sure. A couple things to clean up, but maybe someone to keep an eye on here. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of West Michigan, standing 6'1", weighing 210 pounds. We got Caleb Ealy. So for Caleb's strengths, his frame is dense and compact. He should be able to handle NFL punishment well. He keeps his eyes downfield when he's bailing the pocket, sees the field well, works through his progressions efficiently. He showcases impressive touch on downfield throws. He knows how to change trajectories over defenders. He's able to generate adequate velocity for attacking the middle of the field and drives throws through traffic. He's also been listed as one of those small school studs in this draft class, so he killed in a small school district because the last 2 years he's had a touchdown. He has had thrown 41 TDs to 8 interceptions, which is a pretty good ratio. And his touch had some remarkable moments during late-night MAC football in college. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he lacks the ideal height for a QB. His setup and release quickness is poor, struggles to quickly adjust to get the ball out. He's a limited athlete, will struggle to make plays outside of structure. His ball placement can take a dive when he has to work to the far side of the field. His arm adjustability and accuracy under pressure is a little worrisome. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to free agent QB Nathan Peterman, or Peter Meme. So yeah, has a lot of upside for sure. Killed it in college in a small school district. Has a few things to clean up, but someone maybe to keep an eye on and consider. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Cal, standing 6'2", weighing 250 pounds. We got Chase Garber. So for Chase's strengths, he's a good anticipatory thrower, can sync up the ball deep and lead his receivers properly. He's an adequate scrambler, can pick up a first down with his legs. Savvy decision maker, can protect the ball, and he won't take unnecessary risk. He's calm under the gun. His eyes stay scanning downfield when he's forced off platform. His sense of pressure and ability to adjust to it are refined. He's a natural touch thrower, can change up his tempo where needed. In terms of his weaknesses, though, his physical tools are average by NFL standards. His arm's underwhelming. It will lead to some passes dying out across the field. He's a little inconsistent with his placement and timing when working over the middle of the field, so his consistency's got to be more consistent with that. His process and speed will need to take a step forward. He tends to stare down his receivers and give away his process to defenders, so he's got to learn not to do that. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Brett Rypien of the Denver Broncos, so has a lot of upside for sure. A few things to clean up. He's got to be a little more consistent, but someone to keep an eye on. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of San Jose State, standing 6'4", weighing 217 pounds. We got Nick Starkel. So for Nick's strengths, he's a smart distributor, can work his way to checkdowns. He has a calm lower half inside the pocket. Adequate info processor, can work at a proficient pace. He has a quality arm talent, can threaten vertically and beat defenses downfield. He's a confident gunslinger, can give his receivers a chance in one-on-one situations. In terms of his weaknesses, he has a thin lower half with a linear build, may cause some concerns with scouts about his durability. He has a winding and elegant release that takes way too long. He struggles with intermediate ball placement and tends to overthrow his target, so he's got to learn not to do that and not overthrow. His timing and ability to lead targets takes a major hit when he's forced off platform. He also has unreliable deep ball accuracy. He's not a refined touch thrower, and his touchdown-interception career ratio in college was not the best in the world because he had 48 career passing TDs to 30 career interceptions, so that's not the best ratio in the world. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired QB Nick Shamanik. So yeah, a lot of upside for sure, but a lot of red flags and a lot of things not go good about him. I'd say this one pass. I'd say go pass on this one. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of Kansas State, standing 6'2", weighing 225 pounds. We got Skywar Thompson. So for Skywar's strengths, he's a smart decision maker, won't force unnecessary passes, has a good sense for pressure, and maintains his composure through it. He's a capable runner who has a size and burst to pick up yardage. In his career at Kansas State, he had 1,087 career rushing yards and 26 rushing TDs at Kansas State. He has a fluid and easy throwing stroke that comes with nice quickness, and his toughness is not a question. He's also been listed as one of the big sleeper picks in this draft class, because even though he may not have the raw athleticism or arm talent to change games, he could stick around, though, for a long time as in a backup role, given his toughness, smart, and courage under fire, so he could be more of a situational QB like a Nick Foles type. In terms of his weaknesses, though, like I just mentioned, he has average arm talent. It can lead to some passes fluttering when he has to push the ball deep. His accuracy is more general than precise. He pulls his receivers out of their stride on longer developing passes. His timing and controlling as a passer, it isn't reliable, and his lack of developmental potential is concerning. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Sam Ehlinger of the Indianapolis Colts, so has a lot of upside for sure. Could be definitely a runner for sure. You know, a couple things to clean up and keep an eye on, but for a backup role, someone definitely to consider for maybe a backup role. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of Notre Dame, standing 6'3", weighing 225 pounds, we got Jack Coan. So for Jack's strengths, he possesses a prototype frame, good density in the torso and legs. He will climb the pocket, he will keep his eyes downfield rather than looking the ball prematurely. He's a decent information processor and won't hesitate if the first option is available. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's weight to recognize pressure and adapt to it. He's a poor athlete, doesn't have the quickness to extend plays with his legs. He's not a polished touch thrower. He seems out of sync with his receivers when he has to arc his throws and deliver on the deep ball. His balance and play strength in the pocket is below average, doesn't match his body type, and his arm strength wanes when he works off platform. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to now retired quarterback Keith Wenning. So, you know, has a bit of a small upside, but a lot of things to really work on. It just seems like a hassle. I wouldn't really consider him for a backup. I'd say pass on him. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of Miami, standing 5'9", weighing 195 pounds. We got DeEric King. So for DeEric's strengths, he's a common natural thrower when he works off platform. He can shift it to a rare gear and peel away from linebackers in a foot race. He's sturdier in the pocket than he looks. He can shrug off arm tackles and keep his balance. He's a tough player, won't back down when he's getting beaten up. He has to shake to get out of the pocket and extend plays with his feet. He's decisive once he sees openings available. His vision and instincts as a runner are polished. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he's one of the smallest QBs in this NFL draft class, and many teams will eye a position switch, so he may not stay QB much longer. He does, and Eric, he has some unnecessary extra snapback on his release that delays his process. He's more straight line, fast, and elusive. He has wonky throwing motion that can tend to pull passes downward. His below average velocity, it can lead to floaters to the far side of the field, and he did have some baffling ball security problems in college. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to free agent quarterback Skywar Howard. So he has a lot of upside for sure, but a lot of things to clean up. Maybe someone to consider for like as a QB, as like a slot receiver, or maybe even a backup QB. You know, your choice. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of Louisiana, standing 5'9", weighing 188 pounds, we got Levi Lewis. So for Levy's strengths, he's a good athlete, can make plays on the move, can win as a scrambler. He's effective at changing his throwing angles and adjusting the pressure. Smart decision maker, can work through his progressions efficiently. His footwork and overall setup inside the pocket are well polished. In terms of his weaknesses, he's a pinch-sized passer, gets built more like a small slot receiver than a QB. He has limited arm talent and will make defenses less fearful of him. His timing and his lead on deep passes are regularly off the mark, so he's got to learn to improve on that. Ball placement is more general than specific. His receivers have to work overtime to pull down passes. He misses way too many layup throws, can't be trusted to accurately deliver from snap to snap. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. So yeah, has a lot of upside, very great athlete. Has a lot of things still to polish and clean up. You know, could be used as a good backup QB. Maybe even go to slot receiver. You know, your choice, man. So the next QB we're going to go over here, hailing out of Illinois, standing 6'4", weighing 230 pounds. We got Brandon Peters. So for Brandon's strengths, he has quality size with a ready-made NFL frame. Powerful thrower, can generate a ton of velocity in his passes. He's comfortable throwing off platform, won't be deterred by tough angles of release. He has the arm talent necessary to make up for some of his mental errors. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he misses way too many freebies, and it forces receivers to work overtime and scoop passes off the turf. He saw some usage as a design runner, but doesn't have the athleticism to do it effectively at the pro level. He's late to identify and adjust the pressure. He gets blindside too often within the pocket. He's late to get passes off, will allow windows to close due to slower processing capabilities. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to free agent quarterback Tanner Lee. So yeah, has a lot of upside. He has a bit of a decent amount of positives. You know, a lot of things he's got to polish up for sure. Maybe someone to keep in the back for like a backup QB position. And the final quarterback, the final player we're going to look over in this video, hailing out of Kent State, standing 6'1", weighing 210 pounds, we have Dustin Crumbs. So for Dustin's strengths, he's a physical runner, can pick up first downs with his legs. He has a good feel for pressure, knows when to bail the pocket. He is rarely flustered when he's pressured, and he plays with quality composure. And he consistently avoided turnovers during this time at Kentucky State. And he also did get an invite to the East-West Shrine Bowl game. And he did have a decent show in there. Said, yeah, Brad Holmes was in watching for that game, so he'll definitely be on the board for sure for the Lions. In terms of his weaknesses, though, he has slow footwork that's late to settle. His overall urgency with setup release is very poor by NFL standards. He has a clunky release that changes from throw to throw and causes problems with accuracy. He lacks the size or agility to convert positions. His timing and ability to process in the downfield are both lacking. He's regularly out of sync with his receivers. He's misplaced throws out of constant. He has modest arm strength, and he's scatter shot deep and intermediate passer. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Nathan Rourke of the BC Lions in the Canadian Football League. Yeah, we got a Canadian Football League comparison here. So yeah, definitely has some upside for sure, but a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. You know, still, maybe someone for a backup role, like he'll still be on the board because Brad Holmes was at the East-West Shrine game and got a good look at him for sure. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here for this Detroit Lions NFL draft preview. So yeah, there are some pretty interesting names in this class for day 3 of the draft to consider for QBs, like especially a few good quality backup QB candidates. You know, quite a few interesting names to keep an eye on here. So yeah, that'll wrap it up, of course, for the QB portions of the draft preview. So yeah, we've gone through every major QB name in this draft class there is. We've gone through all of them. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I've got to say. So yeah, the next draft preview, we're going to continue on to day 3 draft previews and take a look at the running backs. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, For the day 3 draft previews, we're going to go over every single position for rounds 4 through 7 of draft, since day 3 of the draft is more like just getting depth pieces in. So yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I gotta say, and I'll see you on whatever I make next. Peace.